Chapter 1 The World's Paris, Your City of Light. The Eternal Inspiration of Paris for Travelers. We would like to think that travel is a choice, but ultimately, it's a calling. Some will choose to listen, and others may ignore it altogether, but the call is clear. At the core of humanity is a need to know the world we inhabit in a way nobody else has known it before. What is it about exploration that pushes us forward beyond logic or reason? Like a siren, the desire to travel calls us to try something that we've only dreamed of silently within the routine of our daily lives. Destinations call to people for any number of reasons and deep-seated desires, but perhaps on the ever-growing list of cities known for bringing throngs of admirers to new borders, Paris, France, reigns supreme. The City of Light has a notorious reputation for pulling travelers in and never letting them go. Writers and artists, innovators, and the curious at heart across genres, generations, and centuries have become enamored with the city. Her effect on these individuals is evident in the proof they leave behind for others to find. Hemingway, Stein, and Wilde left it in ink on pages of novels attributed to the influence of the Parisian way of life. Picasso, Rodin, and Monet left loving remnants of adoration through sculpture and paint. Still, others in our modern era can't seem to get enough of what Paris has to offer either. Endless films have been produced and continue to roll out as testimony to that certain something only the City of Love and Light seems to be able to provide her citizens and visitors alike. From French Kiss to Midnight in Paris and Paris Je t'aime, modern fascination with the city can't help but find its way onto the big screen where it continues to captivate. The story of time itself proves that Paris is a place that belongs to the world, but the beauty of traveling to this mysteriously compelling city is that each experience is individual. Somewhere between the baguettes and rosé, the history, the charm, and fashion is a place that feels as if it was meant for only you to discover. Somewhere along the Seine is a path, and perhaps a particular moment waiting for only you to experience. Paris calls incessantly for you to leave your footprints along the many boulevards, winding cobblestone streets, and avenues that she hosts. The only question is whether or not you'll answer the call and come running after all. An open mind leads to an open city. Travel can be done in so many ways, but when it comes to traveling to Paris, an open mind is best. There are destinations on the map that require extensive planning in order to be experienced in the most effective way possible. There are places that demand order and strategy to be appreciated. Paris is not typically one of these cities. In fact, there is more to be gained from an attitude of appreciation than a regulated plan. For many travelers, this is counterintuitive, but the magic of Paris lies in the truth that the city is best experienced when one has a bullet point of must-see stops perfectly aligned with a willingness to be open to any and every experience that might come your way unexpectedly. There are, of course, the big-name mentions that should be attended to. The Mona Lisa, the Eiffel Towers and Notre Dame, just to name a few, call Paris home. However, if you are hoping to take something uniquely yours away from your French adventure, it's worth your time to allow the unexpected to happen on your way to these major sights, tastes, and experiences. Paris is a city of beauty and intrigue, as well as a city of savory secrets, if only you will listen. Whether your heart lies with art, fashion, history, literature, or food, Paris caters to the dreamer in all of us. Don't be surprised when on your way to that restaurant you've seen in every guidebook you've ever picked up, you discover one a bit more delicious on the side street you mistakenly took. Feel free to be stunned at the awe-inspiring view you stumble upon as you make your way to the Louvre. The art that is the city itself can inspire as much, if not more, than the famed works you'll make your way towards step by step. If you're looking to make the most of Paris, the best advice to take is to keep your strictly regimented expectations closed down just for a while, and keep your mind and eyes very much open. A few things to forget before you travel to Paris. We live in a world and time that is both powered and thrives on an impossibly high set of expectations. There is a tendency to unknowingly pack these preconceived notions and ideals with us, snugly tucked into our minds and suitcases as we take off for new destinations. It might be based on something we heard from those who traveled there before us. It could be something we saw posted moments after it happened to someone else. It might be a vision of a new city that we've crafted in our minds that's come from the movies we've watched over and over again. Whatever it is, and whatever its origins, it's worth forgetting before you board the plane for Paris. In general, the idea of France comes with a diverse array of assumptions. Seen under a variety of cultural lenses, Paris, in particular, is attached to misguided ideas of difficulty and disdain for tourists. Keep in mind that assumptions prior to travel have the ability to take away from an authentic experience. Do yourself a favor and drop these cliché expectations on the tarmac. Simply get in your seat, buckle up, and get ready to meet Paris for yourself. This time around, it's okay to forget a few things before you go. You see, once those unfounded assumptions are very much gone, your experience in Paris can truly begin. While this guide will point out 101 places to see, things to do, and tips to keep in mind to help start your trip, at the end of the day, it's exactly and only that, a guide. It is not written in stone, and it's not meant to shape every moment of your time in the City of Light. It is quite simply the first bullet point list you'll glance at and then fold up as you make your way down the street, open to your own adventure. My hope is that these select few destinations that span the topics of art, food, intellect, and everything in between are mere starting points for what you will inevitably discover along the way. Kindly treat this as a travel notebook to be added to over time. After all, the call to travel is best when it's contagious, and if your side notes and scribbles on this guide someday inspire others to take a trip as well, we will all be a successful and an integral part of the Paris that belongs to both you and me. With that, here are my notes from me to you on the City of Love and Light. Feel free to do with these as you please and never stop adding to them. There is always so much more to be written. Bon voyage.